Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. This is your latest Manchester United news and transfer news, and we can confirm that Manchester United have put it out on their socials and website that a deal has been completed for Jadon Sancho between Manchester United and Borussia Dortmund. The deal is done pending medical and full, obviously, shirt reveal, etc., which will be done after England's involvement in the Euros. We've also got some detail about the deal that has come out from The Athletic we'll talk about in a moment, but this is an acknowledgement that we had this morning from Dortmund. Dortmund confirmed it. Now Manchester United have come out and done it as well. The world of transfers is a very weird place. I said this last night. You will get the press saying that the deal's done, but ultimately, who's Fabrizio Romano? Who's Simon Stone? Who's James Ducker? Who's The Athletic? Who's Manchester Evening News? They're news outlets. The real announcement comes from the football club, but we live in a world where we take these credible journalists, which they are, we take their word for it because we know it's going to be the truth. But Manchester United have come out in the last few minutes confirming that a deal in principle is completed between Borussia Dortmund and Manchester United and Jadon Sancho and his representatives, that a medical, etc. will be completed after England's involvement in the Euros. Now, don't be wishing for that to happen anytime soon. We don't want it to happen anytime soon. We want it to happen in about 2.5 weeks when England have won the World Cup. Not the World Cup, the Euros. But just remember, it's coming home. So yeah, this is just part of the process, and the next announcement will be in 2.5 weeks, I hope, when it's come home and Sancho's come home and he's wearing a new kit. So Manchester United announcing that the deal has been completed. As I said, this is across all the socials and all the websites now. So fantastic news. We believe the deal is around £73 million. There is still talk of add-ons, but I'm very comfortable with that. He talks like I'm paying for it. But I'm comfortable with it as a United fan, and I will give you a Varane update in a minute, but I'm comfortable with it as a United fan because I always said under £80 million, and that's a good deal. And I think under £80 million is what we've paid. I mean, look, lots of people want to talk about how long this has taken. And look, The Athletic have said that sources say talks for Sancho actually began on May 29th, with Ed Woodward contacting Dortmund CEO Watzke 3 days after the Europa League final to process the agreement, and therefore it's taken over a month for United to do that, because if we started dealing with this at the end of May, that's another month of negotiations on top of last summer. So it's taken a long time to get to this point. But I suppose one positive I would say, and it's not really a positive in the sense that we've saved money from last year because we should have done the deal last year, but we've actually got Jadon Sancho for less than we paid for Harry Maguire, which to me highlights a hopeful improvement on United's transfer policy, because how do you get Jadon Sancho cheaper than Harry Maguire? I think it's because we paid too much for Harry Maguire, and that's not Harry Maguire's fault. I like Harry Maguire, but what I'm saying is, looking at our transfers, we have got Jadon Sancho cheaper, and regardless of how many years he's got left on his contract, it is a step in the right direction. Also, The Athletic say that Solskjaer and Phelan were joined by Murta and others, some remotely, for a recruitment meeting the morning after the Europa League final defeat that ended with a clear mandate to bring Jadon Sancho to Old Trafford as promptly as possible. And to me, in many ways, the Euros will have hindered how quickly we could have done this deal, but it hasn't actually, because the reality is this deal could have been announced before the Euros. It could have easily been done before the Euros. I was told a few weeks ago that the deal would happen before the Euros by somebody very, very credible. I never agreed with them that, and I said it time and time again on this show. I didn't think it would happen before the Euros, but there was genuine belief that it could happen amongst the people in the know, because ultimately it's got nothing to do with the Euros. It's to do with Manchester United and Dortmund sorting out a fee, which they now have done, and we now will move on to other things. But ultimately, Manchester United have come out on their website and on their social medias confirming that Manchester United are signing Jadon Sancho, that the deal is basically done pending the medical, which will be done after England's involvement in the Euros. So Jadon Sancho, quite rightly, will not be leaving the England camp to come and do medicals at Carrington and hold a Manchester United shirt up. This will not happen. It shouldn't happen, and it's right that it shouldn't happen. But we spoke about this quite a lot, about deals being done in principle, and they have been done they have been dealt with and done in principle now, which is great to see. Varane and a centre defensive midfielder next, says Shubham. Well, look, I can bring you an update on the whole Varane situation. Obviously, we did the video this morning. There has still been some developments around that. The way I understand the Varane situation, having spoken to a couple of people since this morning's show, is that Manchester United are confident that they can get a deal done with regards to what's going on here? Sorry, let me just get rid of that. Close it. Manchester United are confident that they can get a deal done for Varane, but there's no negotiations with Real Madrid at this point, and I think what we're getting here is a crossed wires on what's happening with Rafael Varane. Some people think that we're close to agreeing a deal with Real Madrid. We've not even spoken to Real Madrid. Real Madrid still think they've got a chance of keeping Varane. Manchester United's progression and confidence and growing optimism is from the conversations they're having with Varane and Varane's people. Real Madrid and Manchester United haven't even spoken yet. Now, obviously, the deal becomes easier once Varane says he's definitely coming to United, and I think that's where the positivity is coming from. I think United are getting a very, very, very big sense of optimism from Varane's people that he wants to come to England, and therefore Manchester United are the front runners. So therefore, that's where everyone's thinking a deal can get done from. Because if Varane makes his mind up he's coming to England and his head's been turned, which is what we believe has happened, then yes, you've still got to deal with Real Madrid. But the reason I don't get overly optimistic is because, we've been in this situation before. Perisic wanted to come and play for Mourinho, and Mourinho wanted Perisic. The deal didn't happen because United wouldn't pay 45 million. They'd only play 40. So yeah, Varane wants to come to United. United want Varane, but Real Madrid have not been negotiated with yet. Sancho, bring it on. Saka and Locatelli, we have no, so I'm worried, says Zayn Miasi. Thanks, Zayn. Do you think the Sancho signing will take the pressure off the Glazers? When the heat gets turned up on the Glazers, we're linked with a new player, says Mannix. I think if they get Varane and a centre defensive midfielder, the pressure will go from the Glazers, yes. Because I think we live in a sports industry, we live in a results industry, and I think you notice the Glazers movement will always kick off when we don't do well in the transfer market, or we don't do well on the pitch, or they try and take us into a Super League that totally and utterly shits on our past. Those big events will turn people against the Glazers. If we start the season well and we're playing well and we're competing for a title, not many people want the Glazers in charge, but they'll be quiet about it until things start to go bad again. That's just, I can't say I'm not the same about that. I'm trying to not be, but we've been like that for 16 years. There has been protests when we've been successful, but the reality is, the Glazers have played the long game. They've done the meeting on the fan forum. They've offered things which I don't think will be delivered on, and everything has gone quiet. And now we're buying players, and everyone's getting optimistic about that. So, that's what it is. People who are joining late, why are you live about Sancho again? Because Manchester United have officially announced that the deal has been done pending a medical, and that they will complete the deal with a medical after England's involvement in the Euros. This has been announced across Manchester United's website and socials. I'm sure you've seen it. So Jadon Sancho to Manchester United now officially acknowledged by the club as a deal that we are going to do. Also, just a couple of updates on Varane. Apparently Manchester United are trying to quickly complete the signing of Rafael Varane after Sancho. Extensive talks with Varane, whose current desire is to move to United as he thinks he's the best option for him now. And again, that just verifies what I've been told as well, is that Manchester United have been in very big talks with Varane, but no talks with Real Madrid, and that will be the thing that might slow this down. United have also been linked to Tomiyasu, who's the Bologna defender, but he's not one of the primary targets, according to David Ornstein. And apparently Real Madrid are quite interested in taking Diego Dalot to Real Madrid. Ancelotti is a fan of his from Everton, and they were linked to him before. And a few other, Duncan Castles is saying that Rafael Varane prefers the Premier League over PSG and stated a desire to exit this summer. If there's anything, if all these things are true, and Marker is saying that now that the Euros are over, Rafael Varane wants to settle his destiny as soon as possible. Varane does not rule out any possibility, and Sergio Ramos' departure does not affect his situation either. You see, that's the thing that worries me. I think that a French outlet has said that Varane has not yet made a definitive decision, but he could indeed now move to England this summer. The status of fee negotiation is currently unclear. Talks between Man United and Real Madrid defender have indeed accelerated in recent hours, and that's from the French outlet there. That's a little bit different from what I was told. I was told that there has not been talks between Manchester United and Real Madrid because Varane has not indicated a desire to move on yet. And when that happens, Real Madrid will talk about selling him because he's only got a year left on his contract. But I was told what we just read there from Marca is that Rafael Varane has not said to Madrid that he's going to leave yet. I suspect there is still an offer from Madrid that might keep Varane there, but hopefully not. But the fact that PSG are not a consideration, that means he's coming to the Premier League. And if he's coming to the Premier League, I think Chelsea have got bigger things to focus on. i.e. probably Declan Rice or Erling Haaland, than Varane. So, we'll have to wait and see. But Manchester United appear... Look, if United get Sancho and Varane, they're two very high-profile signings of the type that we would embrace at this football club. So I can only say that they're a positive. Let's hope we can get the Varane deal done. But the Jadon Sancho deal has been announced. It's a massive deal for Manchester United. Very, very happy with it. And it's been announced by the club today as well. He will do his medical and hold the shirt up after England have won the Euros. And look, that doesn't mean we're going to win it. But I've told you so many times before, it's coming home. It's the way it is. Hi, Mark from Australia, says Corey Robinson. Should we sign a centre-back or a centre-forward? Centre-back, definitely, all the way. Big positive, says Chemo. And I'll say it again, as I've said many times before. If we sign Raphael Varane, to me, it's a bigger signing than Jadon Sancho. Low-key, controversial, whatever. I said it a few weeks ago and I'll say it again. If Manchester United get Raphael Varane, it's a more impressive deal than Jadon Sancho. It's a more significant deal than Jadon Sancho, because when I look at last season, I thought we were crying out for a centre-back and a CDM. I always want Sancho. He's a fantastic player. But I feel like Sancho is an improvement on the attack, whereas a Varane or a CDM is an essential improvement of the team. So therefore, Varane is a high-profile signing in a must-fix situation, and he's probably about as best as you can get. If I said to you, United need a CDM, and you said you want Ndidi, and I get him, that is the best you can get. If I said to you, we need a centre-back, and you get me Varane, I'm going to go, well, there's not really much... All right, we're splitting hairs on who might be better than Varane, but he's definitely one of the best in the world. So that's the significance of this deal if we can do it. Absolutely massive. Hey, Mark, do you give praise to the Glazers for these signings? Says Mark. No. And Mark, 1st July is a good day for me. Sancho signs, I get a distinction in my Masters. It's nearly home, says Jonna. Thank you very much. Well done. Apparently conversations have started between United and Real Madrid for Varane. Any truth, says Shravan. I don't think that there is. I think there will be talks between Real Madrid and Varane, but Real Madrid and Manchester United. But Varane's got to make his mind up yet. He hasn't actually said he's leaving Real Madrid yet. That, as of right now, Varane has not told Madrid he's leaving. And until that happens, proper negotiations between Manchester United and Real Madrid cannot take place. Varane needs to make his mind up. The fact that France got knocked out of the tournament on Monday is fantastic for Manchester United. It's not good if you're French, but it's brilliant for Manchester United, because if he was still in the Euros for two more weeks, that's 2 more weeks wasted. Never underestimate how big it is that France have been knocked out of this tournament, because it just means that Varane and Pogba will resolve their future sooner, which is better for Manchester United. Of course it is, absolutely. He's rejected 2 offers from Real Madrid, Stephen, but there is suspect that there may be another offer. Real Madrid just might throw another offer at him, which, they may as well do it. But I just hope that whatever offer Real Madrid make for Varane, he just thinks, I still want to go to Manchester United. I love that United stand community. I've been watching it for the last few years. I'm a massive fan of that Goldbridge and the TUS Army, and I just want to hear what they're saying about me every game. I want to see what player ratings I'm going to get. I want part of that, because Real Madrid fan channel scene is shit. I want to be part of that. So hopefully that's going to happen. We are going to be live, of course, tonight at 8 o'clock. Fantastic. But I just thought I'd do a quick show just to update on Varane, but also to acknowledge the fact that there has been some good work done around Sancho, and Ollie has got his man. Want to thank you, Mark, and everyone on the United Stand. Been dealing with a lot of rejections for jobs which I need for September. United Stand has kept me positive. Joe, keep going. Keep going, Joe. Stay positive. Thanks everyone for watching. We're back at 8 o'clock, but Sancho acknowledged by Manchester United. Deal done. It's a big day. It's an important day. We go again. Let's get Varane and let's get a CDM. Plenty of time to do it as well. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Take care. Smash a like. I'll speak to you in a bit. Hold on a minute. Mark, I'm kind of disappointed how our club have announced Sancho. I wanted a big reveal. Maybe there'll also be a reveal. Well, no, Sheikh, they can't do the big reveal because he's going to be with England for 2 weeks. Do you think if we sign Varane and we have Sancho, that Pogba would be more likely to sign a new deal at United? Mannix, maybe. Can you not talk to his agent? Says Ali Morgan. I know people who do. As I said, the situation at the moment is Manchester United are not negotiating with Real Madrid because everybody's waiting for Varane to just say he's leaving. That's what they're waiting for. Speak to you all in a bit. Thanks for watching. 8 o'clock.